Hello and welcome. Welcome each and every one of you, dear people. I beseech you. I beseech you. Wow. Wow, indeed. Cool. So, here we are with Fallout 76. And they're supposed to be double XP, starting at 9 a.m. my time. So we have to play with my new character now. I don't really want to power level my new character. I want to take my time, but still go really fast. I want to be really efficient and true, leveling up as I have to, you know. But I want to focus on the story and all the side content in a particular order. That's what I'm trying to demonstrate. I realize now that the Cyberpunk 2077 game is a very complex, crazy game with all kinds of lore. And so is this one. But this one's nice and gentle with it. The other one, it throws you right in the middle of it. So, I know that this game here, Fallout 76, can be pretty intimidating to a new person, perhaps, if they, if they travel around the map too much. You'll get a quest log that is filled to the brim. You won't know what to do. You might just quit. But we're here to prevent that. I'm demonstrating with, not my level 1172 character, but with my level 47 character, Bosco Garbanzo. You hear that, Pistachio Jenkins? You're nothing and nobody. Your pot-bellied self. Shut up. Get back to your hole. This guy's the inversion. It's Boog. But today we're doing Bosco. Bosco. And Bosco. You heard it over the mountaintops. Bosco, I decree. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, this game is pretty darn awesome. I'd say it's the right mix of RPG to action and strategy, and some other element that reflects designing something, like you're building something. Creativity. Pretty awesome. So here we are. I'll make a new team and I'll make it event oriented. Okay. And I'm going straight to Poseidon and I'm taking it over right now. Oh yes. That's what I'm doing right now. Do you hear me? Right now. This character's level 47. Okay. Oh, yes. And I'm weak to the brim. I'm so darn weak, but that's okay. Here we go.
This is a
my first time with this character,
alert.
okay?
Repeat.
This is a pretty awesome moment
Level
here.
2 nuclear alert. Poseidon Energy Plant WV-06 has suffered a critical failure. Hazmat teams are en route. Please
Alright, here we
remain
go.
indoors and await further instructions.
Here we go. And I have a few mutations, and I have starch genes too already. So, that's cool. I got the mutations randomly. I'm a herbivore, talons, and not marsupial, as you can see. I'm just doing my thing. There we go. 1 by 2. I do have Serendipity 3 on, I believe. So normally, it's really hard to demonstrate how a new person would bring the power plant online. Because it involves navigating this place without having access to it, knowing a password or something. But it's not hard. That's what we're doing now. It's a lot easier with the jetpack and with marsupial and bird bones to jump around and float around and hop around these poles here. Okay, I'm moving to the second coolant stack right now. Alright, here we go. Up and around, it's just fine. AP's garbage, but that's how it's gonna work for a while. I'll just consume whatever I have as I move between point A and point B. Okay. Just so you know, people, I can't see the chat box. I cannot see the chat box right now. Can't see it. 1 second. Can someone please write a test message on Facebook? I can see the unified chat, but Facebook isn't showing me the actual chat box. Hey there, Tim. Okay, it works. Thank you so much. There you go. Alright. So that's what we're doing right now. Hope you're having a good day. Well. Hey there, Braden. What's up? Yep, this is normally a complicated task, but it's not a problem. It's meant to be quite imposing. You're meant to think that you need a whole team. That was refreshing. Alright. Up we go.
Cooling system integrity restored.
Well, Connie, I played some Cyberpunk earlier this morning for a little bit, you know, and it really hit me like a sack of flim-flam. Hey there, Andrew. I sort of want to wait until I get a better video card because that's one factor. Well, it mainly looks nice, but every so often I look over and it's jittery, and that's just a terrible experience, you know? So I have to get that upgrade. But for the most part, it's fine. It's a beautiful game. But I realize that you really shouldn't be doing the main story just yet. You're supposed to do everything before that. It's sort of like GTA. You don't just go from one character to the next. You're supposed to do all the little subquests. It's like that, where they give you a bunch of stuff at first with a big old crazy complicated world and these new systems to understand, and it's giving you these people, and then sometimes those quests require a lot of just sitting there and listening to someone talk, which is fine, because that's what we're doing. But I'm not talking. It's talking, which is fine. Or it's just reading some volume of thing, which is like Fallout, but Fallout lets you move around for the most part. You see? Alright, Fallout lets you do a couple things as you move around. And I've always felt like that was a bonus with this game. Other games make you sit there as the NPC talks to you for like a half an hour. You're sitting there, and you're hitting some dialogue options, and it takes forever. But here, you can multitask. For the most part, until Wastelanders came and, you know. Oh boy. Yep, I'm taking over Poseidon right now. Yes, remind me of Watch Dogs, I guess. I played that game for a second on PlayStation, I think. Where you could hack people's phones and the street lights and the blah 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 blah. You know, which is cool because it allows for really cool gameplay. But it's also very much like a strategy game. You're selecting things and time slows down to a crawl. And you're blinding that guy, you're turning that TV on, which is cool. You know. And I couldn't get my controller working, so the driving was terrible. A little bit. But it was really good, though. I realized the scope and how awesome it was, and so next time I do stream it, I'm going to be focusing on just doing the street thug, you know, street cred garbage, all the fun stuff, here and there and everywhere. And then whenever it's time to do any sort of quest, I'm going to read everything in detail, and then go to every computer and read all that, because you're supposed to understand the world a bit, is what I realized. It's just vaguely confusing and really corporate. It's corporate and gang driven, you know? And like military. Corporate, military, and gang sort of situation. With a bunch of names like Takagawa Corporation and Shinzu something, you know? Bunch of that stuff. Not a problem, of course. I have a 1080, but I'll be getting something else. It doesn't support RTX, but the game looked great, but it's not good enough to stream at the same time. I have to make some compromise here and there. I have to lower the resolution or something. Which ain't the best thing, so. So here you need a code, or I could just unlock it, because I'm a master infiltrator. Master infiltrator, thank you. What do you know? Isn't that weird? That one normally requires a password or you can hack it. Oh boy, wait a minute. Wait a second. Okay. Alright. Yeah, so, for example, I did some quest that required me talking to somebody forever, and then following them down the hallway, and then still talking to them, and then going to a room and sitting down to talk to them for a while, and then I went into the Matrix for a bit and talked to them some more with some flashback. And then I did some other event where I met up with somebody else and talked to them, and then I went into the Matrix again, and I had to analyze a scene with fast forward, slow down, analyzing the video and heat signatures and everything, and then listening to people talk forever, and then you move down the hall 5 feet and do it again. You know? GTA didn't do that. But GTA, it's not really a role-playing game, but it sort of is, you know? It's been evolving into one with all of the advanced features and everything. You can own businesses and whatever. You have vague stats that improve vaguely over time. Oh boy! You know? And that used to be a problem in video games. I like it, but sometimes it's a problem. You know? Some games are basically a television show. You put the controller down and you grab the popcorn to find out what happens next. What happens? Oh, he punched him. Oh no, he shot him. Oh, he got shot. Oh no, he's jumping out the window. I want to do that. I always say I want to do that. When they can't do it in the game, they add it to a cutscene. I think it's a big cop-out. Like, you couldn't do that in the game? You have to show the tank drive through the wall, but you couldn't do that in the game? Thank you, cutscene. Maybe part 2 will have that in the game. You know? Hail, Sandra. No! I'm a master infiltrator. I'm a master infiltrator. I'm a master infiltrator. But it really feels like it's a world where you could live in, and I think they're preparing for virtual reality, and that's going to be the world to live in. It's a big old crazy world. It really feels like if you've heard of the game, it's not made yet. It's called Big Old Spaceship Futureworld.org, you know, by spaceindustries.x. Well, you know, that one game about the future. It has Mark Hamill in it. It's not made yet. It's the game where you could pre-order it and buy spaceships that cost thousands of dollars. Star Citizen. Check it out. It reminded me of this game. Like the graphics fidelity of a game to come out in the future. You see? It's really good. But look at that. $1,000 for a spaceship? The game ain't even out yet? And they have more expensive stuff than that? It's crazy. Yeah, price range. My goodness. But yeah, great graphics and a in-depth world with really awesome NPCs with accurate facial expressions and body language and motion capture and all that garbage. It's really great. And the hair, great hair moving around. The lighting's fantastic. The cars look really cool. There's a really interesting art direction and style. It feels like a mixture of Judge Dredd and Fifth Element. And it has that sort of world feel. It's a more realistic version of a GTA world. GTA was a bit more goofy than this world. This is just a realistic world, a dystopian future. It's sort of like a dark version of Idiocracy. Sort of. You know? Hey there, mister. That's what it feels like. All their commercials and everything is really violent and sexualized with gaping maws left and right. Whee! I'm doing the Poseidon power plant here for the first time on this character. Yeah, hey there, Oni. Goodbye. Goodbye. But I like the game so much that it feels like it's a simulation more than a game. Like a really good simulation based upon all kinds of insane lore by really good writers. And because of that, you shouldn't be rushing it in any way. But you're meant to rush the side content and then take your time with the actual story. You know? You're supposed to like live in the world and do stuff and then do the story. Whereas I would never recommend that for Fallout 76.
All plant systems are now operational. Please initiate a full system restart.
Yeah. In this game, you're supposed to play the story, and that takes you around the world. There, you're already back and forth around the world because you're driving in a car, and you're going across the city every 3 seconds. You see? And so there's stuff everywhere. Sort of like in GTA, you're back and forth across the city. But you're really starting in one spot and moving to another spot. Right. It's what plants crave. Family style. Let's go. This is the bony death tambo with a different sound effect. It sounds like bones. Now playing Stuck in the Past by Omicron. Goodbye, Oni-chan. Diet Coke. Give it to me.
Poseidon Energy Plant, WV-06, is now online. Canceling civilian nuclear alert. All maintenance contracts have been terminated. Your services are no longer required.
I got the fusion generator plan. Like a boss. All according to plan. All right. Score. Oh yes, I dropped everything I had on me, huh? Because I died earlier. That's okay. That's just fine. But yeah, it was a really nice experience. But there are, there's nude options. There's naked people. It's terrifying. I didn't know what to think. I checked out the build options after the stream, and they have all combinations. Let's just say they have all combinations. All combinations. I think I have Bloody Mess 3 now. Quite possible. I do. That's why I'm so strong. I don't have Nerd Rage yet, though.
What?
Yeah. I can't wait to get a better video card so I could properly stream that darn thing. You know? Because it probably has the best graphics out of any game in the world right now. Even on a normal system. So on your console, it's going to look wonderful. If you get that game on your console, get it on the console, don't get it on PC. If you have a brand new Xbox or the PS5, get it on there. Trust me. If you have the means to get the Xbox Series X or PS5, get the Cyberpunk 2077, because it's supposed to support ray tracing, right? Right? And maybe your computer doesn't, but if your computer does, and there you go. You know, if you spent a lot of money getting your video card, then do it. Here we go. All right. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? We have the tower. I saw you. You wanted to go. Well, that's where you go then. That's where you have to go. And you will go here. You'll be happy. Be happy. Okay. And run! I heard something. Run! 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 Alright, cool. Moving on with my mission. I'm heading down south into Welch. That's my destination. Right over here. I'd say that the game is made for gamers that aren't really gamers. They really enjoy a story. It's a certain kind of game, but the combat's wonderful. But it accommodates the kind of person that just wants to curl up in a blanket and play a good game. Turn the lights down low, sip some wine, and just play a game. You know. Live in that world for a while. I guess something weird happened in the world with cinematics, you know? I used to expect cinematics. And I used to expect that cinematics were not based upon gameplay. It was just a video getting you in the mood about what's about to happen. But at one point, it became gameplay that you don't control anymore. Because the actual gameplay graphics became good enough to be just like a cutscene. You know? Oh, cool. My game wasn't stuttering on the stream. It was doing some lost frame garbage. From time to time. My game felt fine, but when I look over there on occasion, it will do something weird. You know, if I look on the other screen at the stream, and somebody complained. You know. But the game looks great whenever I play it. It looks way better than I thought it would without ray tracing, because it looks like ray tracing. Right. I'm heading over here to the Charleston landfill to go take it over. I stream on one PC now. I made another computer over here, and I got a very expensive capture card, so I might try that. I could try that, but you know what? I could try that. Thank you for reminding me. I spent a lot of money. I got this big old computer over here that I just didn't like the output, but it might be just fine with Cyberpunk. So I could try it with Cyberpunk. It's just I'll lose some functionality with the stream. But yeah, I could try. I mean, I have it all hooked up right now. I built this other computer over the past couple months just for that very purpose. But when I tested it, I wasn't happy with the results. It was kind of like a grainy, lots of resolution. It's just how it is. It's not... I thought it would be perfect, but it wasn't perfect, and I realized my actual game output was better. So... I could try it again. I could... Thank you for reminding me, Cole. Yeah. Because I built this computer here just for that purpose. And I guess, you know, I got this other computer here that I never use. That's sitting there waiting. I have it all operational. I put in my other video card. It doesn't really need anything powerful, but it has a 780 in there, and it has the same motherboard that I'm using and the same type of RAM, but half as much. It has 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM. It has the same processor as this computer. So I was going to use that computer for, you know, like rendering and for the here. I'll show you what I got really quick, because it was expensive. I got this thing, you know. It has Cyberpunk on the cover. They're using Cyberpunk as an example. That's kind of funny, you know. I installed this, you know, so whatever. It's really designed to capture gameplay from your console and put it on your computer to stream using Streamlabs. But you could also use it in a multi-computer setup if you're like, for example, Star Wars Battlefront is a killer. It's really bad on your resources. So, in this example, it'll work just fine. It's kind of funny. Kind of funny. Whatever will I do? Why don't you just... The whole family's starving. What are we gonna do? Don't you live on a farm? So... Oh yeah! Hey! Apple trees! Thank you! I have apple trees! Boop! And a bunch of geese. Apple Tree McGee. Oh my god. Oh, you see? Yep. It's meant to be. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. I took over these workshops. I'm heading around. I'm making that fake old money. Alright, I'm heading down to Welch. So I'm teleporting all the way down across the map.
The origin of these supplies is classified information.
Well, I guess it would be a good intermediary step between now and me getting a new video card. I got this other computer just sitting here, chilling with this big old screen right next to me. Bam. Look at that. Behind this curtain over here. Behind this curtain over here. El Gato. All right. Okay. Ring of Hell. Ring of Hell. Ta-da! 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 I did it! See? That's another computer. That's not another monitor, that's another computer. Yep. I was choppy for a second because I plugged in the HDMI cable into my video card, pushing the video out to the other computer and through the Gallowumbus right over there. That's the other computer, you see? Yep, so I could be recording the gameplay for a bit back there. Testing one. Yeah. Well, it's only recording my gameplay. So I can just record that as one big old file and go back through it and edit it afterwards and get all the choice gameplay. It's now recording. Ain't that fun? What you gonna do when you get on the floor? Oh yeah. Oh. Hey. The darn rat died before I could get a stab in? Garbage. Garbage Joe. Alright. So here we are. Rocking and rolling. Alright. Putting away everything. As per the decree. I'm about to go through this area down over yonder. Towards Welch, as I was told to. The game really wants me to go to the Savage Divide. But in the process, I'm doing this Garahan Hornwright quest line, which takes me through this region. Alrighty. Whoa, it's full. Who would have thunk it? Alright, bye. Oh, you don't have any game sound? Really? What do you hear? You don't have game sound. Oh. Yeah. Hold on. No, you don't. So what the heck are you hearing? Aha, aha, aha. Can you hear that? Clayton. Clayton. Okay, good. Alright. That just means that's gonna have no sound. That's fine. I'll just record a nice capture of the game with no sound for no reason. That's sort of why I didn't do it. There's technicalities with the microphone and with the audio input and output. Okay. Because the audio wants to go through the HDMI to the other computer. Either way, I got it working. Oh, so that's cool. That means I'll do some testing later on for some cyberpunkian action. Yeah. Oh, yes. I see it now, boss. I see a future where I have 2 capture cards, one in the other computer and one in this computer. Because it's a problem where... See, it's doing the processing for the encoding over there. But I want it to be here. Nah, it's fine. I just have to have like a KVM switch and a couple more screens. A couple screens up here, you know, and a reclining chair that swivels. Blue lights and everything. Yeah. And it's still kind of grainy. You see how it's kind of washed out? And there's a lag. There's a noticeable lag, you see? Okay. So if it's recording my voice real time, then the game would be lagged. You see? You know. Stop breathing. Okay. Well, Cole, it really is just the fact that some games, well, maybe I should cap off the frames or something, because by default it's uncapped. That could be a factor. It's spiking at times. That's all. That could be the primary factor. Because this game here has no problem at all. You see. But Star Wars Battlefront does because it has no cap. I could try capping it off. You know. For the most part, it's fine. Yeah, but I think the next time I stream Cyberpunk, it's going to be I just don't know. I just don't know. I realize there's so much going on, and that they fill the map full of things to do, and there's so much, and the combat itself is really fun, but there's a whole hacking side to it. The RAM, it's really, really technical. It's really cool that there's sort of a masterpiece if they get it figured out. There's a couple weird graphical bugs here and there, like palm trees through the wall. There's like that weird white cloudy situation at the beginning. A bunch of enemies cowering in a bunch of humans cowering in fear were blocking my way through, and they wouldn't move, and they're kind of like all weird, shaking and everything, you know, looking at me all sideways. Right. So. But today there is a double XP event until the 14th here, starting at 9 a.m. So I plan on playing this game here with my good old Bosco Garbanzo Jones III for about 4 hours, and then crossing over to good old Gooboberti. I don't really want to grind all that heavily for the XP with this character. But maybe I do. Maybe I do, but I don't really, you know. But I sure as heck do with my high-level dude, because it's so darn slow. I'm heading to Welch right now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I am a herbivore now with talons. I heard there's a cat that needs murdering over here. With a booty doo. Boop boop doop. Alright. Awesome. We did it. Well, I have the option to use the NVENC encoder or the X264 or whatever it is. And one uses CPU and the other one uses GPU. I don't think my GPU is strong enough to run that game. I could try though, but when I looked it up, it said that it was optimized for the RTX cards. If you had one of them bad boys, then it'll be you should be using the NVENC for the NVIDIA encoding and everything, but I haven't tried it yet. So far, every time I tried, I did it with the X whatever. But for the most part, it looked okay. Maybe. I don't. For the most part, you know. Oh, someone's doing the Enclave event. I think. Maybe. About to hit level 50. Soon enough. Yep. To find Duchess's stash. That's what high-level players look like. Yeah. I put away everything. Leave me alone. Oh, Duchess. The end. Okay, let's go find the Overseer's log, which is way over here. Doing what I have to do. All these things I have to do. I'm using a 1080. GTX 1080. You know? I'm just afraid to dip in too deep on that bad boy with resources. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to cap the frame rate in the game first. Let's see if that does something. Okay. There. Make sure I tag him. Whoa. Yeehaw. Okay, Overseer's log. But you can stop trying to diagnose my computer now.
Overseer's personal journal. Vault 76
Before I go ballistic on you.
The best and the brightest. But
And I will.
that wasn't what all the vaults were for. The Societal Preservation Program. I wasn't supposed to know about it. But when I found out,
Either way,
Evan
I
wanted
still
me
want to
to
get
tell
a
the
new video
press.
card because my video card does not
I
support
didn't.
ray tracing. Badoom ching.
Yes, experimenting on Vault
yes.
residents was
Okay.
ethically wrong. But the goal of finding the most suitable people to repopulate, to understand humanity pushed to the extremes.
Yep.
What if that was the only way for us to survive?
I'm gonna head down to
We can't save everyone.
Beckley Mine
That's
Exhibit.
what they always told us. And I thought, I still think, they were right. Vault Tech found out that I knew.
What I'm supposed to do.
I thought I was going to be fired or arrested, but instead they confided in me. Vault 76 was going to be a control vault.
Did I get
No
that legendary back there?
I was so relieved. But they told me I was going to be assigned to Vault 101 in Washington, D.C. I had to leave West Virginia. My people, behind. I couldn't let them do that. No matter what it took. I'm
Wherever
so
it died
sorry.
at.
I wish
did,
I could
right?
say I would have made another choice.
I guess I
That
did.
I would have picked dying in this house together when the bombs fell.
Ooh,
I never
bolstering.
stopped thinking about you.
Hey, action point refresh speed.
And I'm not giving up.
That's
until
pretty
I
good.
Find out what happened.
That's pretty good, everybody.
If you're not
Yeah.
here, then there's only one other place you'd want to be.
Yeah.
The mines.
The mines. The mines. Mononga mines. We're making our way downtown. I'm heading down to Beckley to get the waypoint and take over the workshop. It'll take a second to get there. It'll take a second to get there. Yeah. Right on down the hill. Yep. Right on down the hill. Right now I have a few things to do. I haven't been told to go talk to the raiders or settlers yet. That thing hasn't happened yet. Now, stupid old Beckett, he wants me to do stuff for him. And the game sort of has me do that first. Apparently. I've already signed up for the Pioneer Scouts, but I have to do those tasks as they come. Heading down the road towards this workshop. I plan on clearing through this zone and looping back through my other spots as time passes by. Check this house over here. There's a bunch of mutants over there. And there's some good supplies coming up. My need for constant supplies is sort of reducing. So my desire to loot everything is dropping. Now, doing campfire tales would be good for me. You know. A bunch of creatures. And the possum badges. Seeing as I am signed up for the... You know, maybe you have to already have a possum badge to earn possum badges. But you have to be a possum or whatever. Because I'm just an initiate.
Air so thick, human lungs would choke. I splatter. Human, let's play. Leg hit.
Yeah. Yeah. They are amazing machines. You know. But as you saw, there were other issues with the capture card, which is why I didn't really go through with using it. For one, the picture looks all grainy. There's ways to sharpen that up, but still, there's a clear resolution drop. Sorta. And then there's that horrible delay. And then you have to have a separate mic source leading to that computer. And then I lose the functionality to simply move my mouse over there and drag stuff over. I can't just drag stuff over. Well, you know, it's not all the same computer. There is an advantage to have everything working on the same computer, you know? And, like I said, for the most part, it was okay, but there's a couple times it was kind of weird, you know? And it's really because I don't really want to turn all the darn graphic settings off. It was set to ultra and it was still running basically just fine. It was set to ultra and high, you know, and that was the default, you know, and it was still running basically just fine until, you know, here and there it was a problem, which I expected because I don't have the best video card in the world. It's pretty good, but it's not the best in the world, and it's nowhere near the best. There's like a whole league of things. Is just above the recommended, far above the minimum. What they mean is they recommend that for ultra, but then there's recommendations for ray tracing. And that keeps on going up and up and up. Too many issues. And I also know how computer works. The computer. The heck? Oh no. I said, you make me go ballistic. You know, if you know how I roll, then you deserve being attacked. That's when it's the bad kind. Random people, they're excusable. People that know how I roll, extra bad. Right? You know what I mean? Think about that one, Bosco. Huh? Asking me if I checked the task manager.
Please disperse. Do not attempt to flee.
Yeah.
Will be identified and sanctioned. Continuing search for fugitive.
Ugh.
Scanning for hostiles.
I had no stim packs. I put everything away. Yep. I'm gonna put down my building. My first time here. I have a couple workshops or a couple blueprints set up here. Now I could try this out. I don't think I have tried it yet. If it does even fit. Oh yeah. That's pretty good. Right here in the middle. Oh yeah. That's pretty good there. It's pretty good there. You can do it. You can do it. Yeah. And full Homer. That makes sense. That makes sense. This one, this blueprint is extra long.
Think this stim
You know.
pack will do the trick for you.
Here, I'll put down this resource first. We'll try to go from there. Maybe I can make a wall up front. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Hey, perfect. Oh boy. Gotta break it down now. Perfect. So cool, I'll make it simple for you. The reason why it's a CPU issue is because it's a GPU issue. If my GPU were strong enough, I would use my GPU to encode. Because it's not, I have to use my CPU, therefore that's the bottleneck. Good duh. Get it? I mean, and streaming takes up a lot of CPU. I mean, and so do some games. Get my little power unit over here.
Make sure to pay your respects whenever you come across a fallen brother.
All that free XP. There it is. Well, that's simply the answer. Cool. That's just the answer. It takes up a lot of resources when you live stream at a high bit rate. The higher quality the output, the worse things get. I'll make it as simple as that. If I want to have a high quality output at some sort of resolution, at some sort of frame rate, at a certain bit rate, it requires extra CPU flimflams. You know what I mean? Not that complicated. Or it is, but you know, we all know the answers here. You know what I mean? Yep. Here we go. Short tire. Okay. Got this defensive wave here. I really need a better rifle here. Okay. Okay. Play music on the rooftops of Beckley. I'll do what I have to do, beast. Let me go up here. I can't jump around all crazy like. Alrighty. Oh boy. Alright. I have to play music. I gotta play music. They're making me. They're making me do these things. So right now I have 3 workshops. I'll have to play for 30 seconds, just for a second. Just, hey, I got the recipe for cranberry relish. That's cool, right? Did I? Woohoo! Hey! I thought I had to go out of my way to go buy that thing. Plus, I'm an herbivore. That's even cooler. It's even cooler. Oh boy. You want me to play music, huh? Yeah, Cat. Yeah, Facebook's having a weird problem because the chat box ain't showing up over here in my main area. I have to pull over the mixed chat view. That's terrible. Alright. No. Alright. Let's go play the music. Hey Cole, you should probably just drop it. You should probably just stop talking about it before I hate you. If I had control over the chat right now, I'll give you a 15-minute mute because you're still talking about it and acting like it's a CPU problem when the game supports RTX and I don't have an RTX video card, and neither do you, otherwise you would have mentioned it by now. So you should probably upgrade to that first. Here's my CPU info. Core i7, Flim Flam Jones, whatever the heck it is, and other things. I wish I could mute that dude. Bothering me. I don't like it. Alright. Oh boy, 49. That's cool.
To be desired. Are you trying to get your supplies stolen?
Yeah. Well, about to be 50 any second now. I didn't spend the last few levels, which is great, I think. Maybe. Yep. The chat's all messed up right now. Hey there, Nikki. See, that was his face, but I have to aim lower because the perception. I have to aim at his chin, not his forehead. But if I had a perception of like 35, then you could aim anywhere right around the face. Anywhere.
Attention, citizens. Nuclear strike imminent.
Oh, come on.
Please exit the area at your earliest convenience.
I can't get up there. I can, actually.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Oh my gosh.
Lungs full of smoke and method. Won't stop super mutant.
Isn't it sad how Facebook's being attacked in, like, all over the world? 34 states have taken up blah 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 against Facebook for being blah blah blah, for being too good of a company. Blah. Should break him up. It's ridiculous. Acting like Twitter doesn't exist. Acting like anything else doesn't exist. YouTube? Google? Huh? Google's too powerful. Everybody uses Google. Gotta break them up. What are you talking about? What's happening? What is even going on? I don't know. Okay. Okay, I'm heading down to the Gorge Junkyard to go take that over. Yeah. With a yeah one time. And I'll get some sugar in the process. There's so much I can do. Facebook better not fall because, you know, jeez. Some people are reliant upon Facebook. Alrighty. Oh, yes. Break it all down. Bleed, break. Alright. I compare Facebook to AOL. You know, Facebook's like the new AOL. It's the curated version of the entire internet. Because you could share other things to it. I guess Twitter is... You can say that Twitter is directly about people. It's people's thoughts, you know? But then Facebook is the it's using that concept and it's a bit better. You know, there's a whole environment where you have a page and you have likes and stuff and content. Twitter's very similar, but Twitter is just people talking. You know, cuts out all the other fluff. even though there are ads, there's sponsored things on there. So, how do they know who to sponsor it to, or who to advertise to? I think Twitter is keeping. I think Twitter is keeping track of keywords, you know? And hashtags. Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, sir. That just happened. If you only take a couple things, they think that you didn't take anything. Right? Twitter really is just a political shouting match and grandstanding. Getting in arguments is what it's for. Is to saying what you think and feel, and then getting into arguments, and then backing people up and talking about things. But it's also about just posting thoughts. It's about posting whatever thought you have. It could be significant or meaningless, or just a status update. You know? And then people share things. So, in the same exact way that people use Facebook, but it's just like it's your own feed, and people can subscribe to you or not, and they see whatever you're posting. It works just like Facebook, but it's without the Facebook part. It's just the people, which is quite interesting from that point. And it's full of a bunch of famous people. It's nothing but famous people and politicians, like the actual politicians saying something that they care about, or something stupid, or sharing some meme or something. And it's the unfiltered pulse of these people. It's not like the news talking about what somebody said, it's what they actually said in real time. And then you could respond to it, you know? And then people say, yeah, that's right. That's right, what that person said. Yep. Yeah, so like, you'll have... Everybody has a Twitter that's famous, and you have like a blue check mark. Everybody has a Twitter. I mean, come on. Even Bill Cosby, if he weren't in jail, he would have a Twitter. And he'd be sharing his thoughts about the world. Even funny things. But see, Facebook has turned into a business. So if there's a famous person that has a Facebook page, it's just going to be used to sell treadmills and supplements, you know? And yoga mats. You know? That's all it's going to be. A page full of ads promoted by that person. And they're using it to make money. Whereas their actual pulse would be Twitter. They say, hey, follow me on Twitter and join the conversation. And I'm using this page just for my business. I sell t-shirts on Facebook. Like that. I sell soap I carved myself on Facebook. And I pay for all these ads. And I have segments of my other show You know, for example, if Joe Rogan had a Twitter, he'd be talking about whatever the heck he's doing that day, with the occasional promoted ad. Don't forget to get out there with this thing that I'm using. But if he has Facebook, it's going to be just full of maybe clips from his show and some pills he's selling in a treadmill or something, right? And YouTube is just a bunch of clips from his podcast. And then his podcast is just episodic things and nothing else. There's no other chat or anything involved at the actual source. There's no commentary. Most likely. I'm just guessing that Spotify doesn't have like a big old comment sheet. It's just a podcast. Like a show. But then the clips have commentary, so it's sort of like a community because people come back. But it's not really a community. But then there's 85 million Joe Rogan pages, I'm sure, talking about things and clips and everything, full of memes, you know? And that would sort of exist on Facebook, right? All these groups based upon the other content. Or it's just a store to sell a bunch of stuff. Sort of. You could think of like Facebook like someone's content library / store. And then a group where they actually are human. And the group is sort of like Twitter, but not as fleeting thought based. I wonder what I'll have for breakfast, eggs or flim flam? Which is something that somebody would post in a group, but it's more of a personal. Here's my thought. Why do aliens never come to the flim flam water hole because of the flim flam? What do you think about that? Meh. A random thought. But if the random thought is good enough, it gets posted on Facebook. So it's really a curated, you know, this content-driven, store money-driven experience that points to something more organic. For example, a YouTube chat stream of a video. People are talking about different things that they like. It's not just one clip from that video. It's the entire video with a bunch of people talking about that gigantic video versus one clip and a bunch of people talking about that one clip. You know? It's diluted. But Twitter is right and to the point and just your thoughts and everything. Hey there, Fred. Yeah, Facebook is a situation. It's kind of hard to monetize it, but if a person is selling something, you could sell soap that you carve yourself and take pictures of it and use it like an eBay sort of a thing. Or you could use it like an Amazon affiliate store because they have all kinds of store features built into it. It's like all built into it. And when you go to make your gaming page or whatever, you have a bunch of other store features that you could choose from that aren't gaming related. So people sell chairs or something. They have a walnut farm and they're selling walnuts. I don't know. It's all about making money. It's all about like having it's a business, which is what Facebook is. But Twitter is just your thoughts. And then if you're really popular, people come to you, the sponsors come to you, and then you say, for this running hike, I'm using the Nike Plus watch because it's great. You should buy it too. Here's the Nike Plus watch affiliate link. Order below. Nike Plus watches are awesome. You know, because you're already popular and then they're using that. Which is just how Facebook works. Facebook works in a very similar method, but the way that things are promoted on Twitter is a really interesting organic method. Sort of like Reddit. If Reddit had just one big room, Reddit is partitioned, so you hear about what you need to hear about. Things trickle up to the surface, but very slowly. On Twitter, it's all based upon hashtags and keywords. So if people are talking about the same thing, it gets driven up to the surface, and then so be it. It could be anybody doing it. If it gets you use the hashtag at the right time, and then people start copying it at the right point, you know? Hey, cool. Catch you later. You know, people start talking about it. It gets infectious. But that sort of natural growth doesn't really occur on Facebook. Or even YouTube. You know? YouTube, is the entire video popular? It's not, is this one comment on that video popular, right? Sometimes if a comment is really, really, really popular on a video on YouTube, that'll increase the algorithm's watch rate for that video, because YouTube will get you to watch the entire video because there's lots of traffic. People are coming back all the time to comment on this gigantic thread of this comment. And then maybe somebody else mentioned that video in some other post. So people are going into that video to comment on it, and that's why. So it's like an inside out, outside in organic expression. Alright. Whereas Twitter would be starting with the comment linking to the video.
Like hit!
So if somebody writes something clever enough, it's like putting it's sort of like a national caption contest, where if you could think up the best caption, the most clever caption for some other subject, and then you link to that subject through a name, usually it's by linking to other hashtags. So if you think of something clever, you know, that relates to some other popular concept in some way, then all of a sudden that new term will be promoted, and now it's just about ideas and thoughts, which is interesting. Yeah. Yep. Yep, it doesn't feel as organic on Facebook because you're able to pay for it. Because you're able to pay for it, they restrict what people see. Unless you consciously hit the notification bell. It's actually a very simple... I think YouTube does a very similar thing, but it's you know, there's more... when you open up your YouTube page, you're greeted with a grid. Facebook has a vertical format with just a couple things. On your phone you have the same thing as well, but, you know. But you have this grid of random stuff. You don't really have a grid of random stuff as much on Facebook. You have just the stuff that you've clearly indicated that you liked. And it seems like it's really organic because you see what you want to see, right? But let's say that a person, I would say that it takes a lot for a person to click to say, you know what, I like this video and I like that person. I'm going to give them a thumbs up. And then they go, you know what, thumbs up and subscribe. I want to watch it tomorrow. And then they go, thumbs up, subscribe, and notification bell. Oh no. Or even just clicking the bell. The point is that not everybody clicks that bell. It determines whether or not you're a human. It's one thing to say, yes, I want to know when this person streams, but Facebook doesn't tell you. You have to hit the bell. And they know that not everybody does the bell. It's sort of like this. If a person is subscribed to 100 things, and they happen to hit 100 bells, not all 100 things are shown to that person. Even then, the service would decide what items they get to see because they clicked on all of them. Hopefully, they don't click on all of them. They click on 13 out of the 100. I want to hit my subscriptions and scroll through my list, but I want to be informed about these 5 things. You do? And then the service can figure out how to handle that. Oh no. Wait. Oh no. Gotta eat them. Alright. I think it's because if a person feels overwhelmed, they just give up. Even with content. So, and I think they just know that. If you have, let's say that you're watching TV and you've never even heard of TV and there's all these options. Oh my gosh, all these options. And you have this Rolodex of 30 shows that you're watching at the same time. You might even give up. But if you're only informed of like 4 of those things, interspersed with a bunch of new stuff, it's better somehow, which is weird. You know, if you have 100 things that you like, they'll only show you 14 of those things mixed in with a bunch of new stuff that's very similar to those things, and it works for them. And it works for you because you end up discovering things all the time. Otherwise, you'd only have one thing. Why do you have 100 things? It's because you're exposed to things, usually organically through your friends or through recommendations, whatever. But it needs to be promoted, I guess. It's in everyone's favor. It's in the service's favor because you're forced to watch them longer to see all the stuff that you really care about, because now you have your 100 things spread out through a time period that takes forever to get through. Because if all you care about is letters and you keep getting a bunch of numbers, it'll be A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, B. You know? As opposed to A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then when you're done, yeah, what else is there? Maybe I'll go outside and go for a walk. Yeah. So, knowing that, for one, it keeps customers on the service longer because they're waiting to get the stuff that they really care about. And two, there is a nice feeling discovering something new. You know? If commercials never existed, if movie trailers never existed, and you say, I'm a Star Wars fan, that's all I care about. That's all I ever want to watch. Star Wars. Then you'll never know about the new Star Wars, right? Or whatever. Maybe you might know about it. But you won't hear about Blade Runner or something. It's pretty similar in genre. And there's too many different things in the world for people to really care about. There's too many different options. Do I care about perfume right now? And high heel shoes and dresses and so forth? No, I don't. I'm a man. They shouldn't waste their money on that. But I care about some new awesome keyboard or some haptic controller for VR, or some new augmented reality glasses, or, you know, some robotic dog or a robotic monkey that you could have on your shoulder that whispers dark secrets into your ear, tucks you in at night. I care about that. And I would love to see a commercial for a robotic monkey that could whisper in your ear with his raspy little lips. Secrets. That's what I want. I would love it. Alright, let's head on down here to Summersville and take over Lakeside Cabins. Yeah. It's just weird I think that most people don't understand the fact that, well, you subscribe to me, or I'm subscribed to you, and YouTube never shows me your videos. It's because you hit that darn bell. And even then, I think, so for example, if you don't hit the bell and you happen to subscribe to somebody and you haven't done that in a while, then that'll be at the top of your list. But if you subscribe every 3 seconds to random people, then you might never be informed of the new stuff. They might just keep showing you new stuff, right? Because they figure that, hey, this person really enjoys new stuff because they keep subscribing to new people. And they haven't even gotten through this guy's videos or this other person's videos, you know? They know what you're watching. I think they really enjoy reinforcing the rabbit hole. Once you start going down a rabbit hole of some content of whatever genre, they'll give you more of that exact same thing. Just for a bit, but they'll deviate it left or right to see if you still like it. But here's the thing. In the middle of autumn, on a Tuesday at 3 p.m., you might like something different than in wintertime. Or summertime. Oh no! Right? And you might be subscribed to 30 different people, but you only watch the videos focused on how to make tables and how to cook and how to do certain things, like crafting channels versus art channels versus gaming channels. Even though you're subscribed to a bunch, they know that you're only watching certain things during certain times, and that people like you are doing the same thing across the planet. So to make you entertained, they'll only show you a selection of what you really want. And I would say that the notification bell should not be an automatic thing for people. They need to be selective with that bell, you know? Because I think if you always do subscribe and notify, then you won't be notified. But if you subscribe to a bunch of things and only notify for a couple, then you should be notified. Because you like those things. It's sort of like if you say you like every single color, then Facebook or YouTube doesn't know what your favorite color is. Well, this person likes colors a lot. Keep on giving them to them. But it knows that sometimes you like gray quite a bit, and some black here and there, and some orange, you know, some mahogany color, all kinds of stuff. I don't care about no dresses and perfumes. I don't care about none of them. Alright. I'm heading down to Lakeside Cabins. I'm about to hit level 50. I'm about to hit level 50, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Kat, you said that you were watching my Cyberpunk stream on Facebook, and then YouTube recommended a bunch of Cyberpunk stuff. Well, I think it's because there's a bunch of people that were streaming that game that day, and it got really, really popular, and it was super duper 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 trending. And you are in the demographic that enjoys watching streams now. You're in the streaming demographic, apparently. And there's probably a bunch of people that, you know, it's like a cross-audience sort of situation. in that example, you know, because even PewDiePie, even PewDiePie of all people, he was trying so hard to have fun. I looked at it for a second. He was trying so hard. He was driving his car going, woo ho ho, woo ho ho, woo ho ho. Trying so hard. I think my problem is I haven't played like a true RPG in a long time. This is the RPG in more of a you get stronger as time goes by, and you have heavy progression. And there's a lovely story that you're immersed in. But in other RPGs, it's like all story, all cutscene, all motion capture. You sit there and you eat your ice cream sandwiches while the things happen. Have you played the Uncharted games? Like, that has a bunch of it, but then you start playing for, oh cool, I get to play. Call of Duty has it for quite a bit as well. Call of Duty loves doing that garbage. So does Battlefield. You end up expecting it. But I think a better game would be able to pull off that narrative experience with a fully interactive experience, but it really does cater to a certain player that doesn't want to just do it. It's just hard to tell a story in that method when you're running around shooting stuff. It's easier just to show you what happened. Dimitri, grab the lever. Oh no, we're flooding. No, Dimitri, no! Yep. Alright, here we go. I don't know what you're talking about there, Amarante. I don't know why I left, but I left on my own. And it won't be long till I get on back home. Back home, back home. Back home where I belong. Till I get on back home. Out of my way. I have to go kill these guys over here and I'll level up right away. Well, let me repair what I have right now.
Make sure to pay your respects.
Yeah, so, what do you think about the, what was your first impressions of Cyberpunk from what you saw so far? The graphics were great. Right? The graphics were cool. Repair. It was sort of overwhelming. I want to give it another chance. The problem is I would love to do some troubleshooting. But it's a bunch of setup and teardown to test it out. To fully test it out, I would have to change a setting, do the live stream, see if it works or not, and then keep on tweaking it. So. Part of it is because I have the bitrate set on high. It's at 5,000 bits per second. And then there's the encoder, and then there's the output frames per second, and the output resolution. Last stream I tried setting it down to I turned it down to 720, 60 frames per second. This right here is set to 1080, 30. I feel like if I sacrifice the output frames per second, I could have a higher resolution stream, and it won't affect the performance at all. Woohoo! What you gonna do when you get on the floor? Flap them wings. Why did the tennis player get divorced? He couldn't accept love. All right. With a boo doo doo doo, and a boo doo with a doo doo, boo doo doo with a boodly doo, and a boo doo doo, and a boodly doo, and a boo boot doo, and a boodly doo with a boot boot boodly doo. Oh no, with a boodly doo, yeah. All right, Debbie. Alright, so now I have to level up one more time. Oh yeah. My heart's in a whirl. Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage. I'm gonna kill you so much. Oh yeah. All right. Moving on with my tasks. With all of my tasks, people. All of my terrible tasks. I mean, my terrible, terrible tasks. So let's go back to my camp and bring out Beckett. Yeah, so, you know, I feel like a lot of games or stories can get away with trying to sound fancy and lore heavy just by having funky names. So, Cyberpunk has a bunch of names that aren't in English just to sound fancy. But that's how life is sometimes, you know, just fancy names. Nothing wrong with that, really. Oh, he's here. Where are you? Hey there, Beckett. I hate your guts. Hey, Beckett.
Back for more Beckett, eh? Can't say I blame you.
I hate you. Bye. So, I have to do a thing. I have to do a thing.
What would Elder Maxon say if he saw the state of your camp?
That's pretty far away. It wants me to go way over there? Well, I have to go pick up the Sisterhood of Secrets quest as well. Let's go across the lake and do our thing. Huh? Yeah. Let me refresh my browser. Hey, you know what? I think it's already 8:41 a.m. right now, so I should probably just leave the stream right now and come back with my Gooboberti dude. Now that I hit level 50, I'm pretty much done.
Let me know if I'm in your way.
I'm washing my hands with this character because we're about to have the double XP event, and I want to do that with my other guy. Okay. So I'll be back. Yeah. I'll be back. Okay. Even though I do also want to do more Cyberpunk, I just have to make sure it's a high quality stream. It's just not right. It's sort of like streaming a VR game in non-VR mode because your computer can't handle it. Then why are you streaming the VR game? It's kind of ridiculous. It's like people live stream Rec Room not in the VR mode, or people live streaming VR chat and they're not in VR. Mind-boggling, because they're just trying to show like a first-person experience of being there, but you're not doing it. Like, part of why you're watching is because you want to see what it's like to be in VR, but you're just showing people VR from a 2D perspective. Either way, but you know. But yeah, I'll be back. Okay. With my main man at about 9:30 a.m. Okay. Goodbye. Right now it's 8:45 or